yeah, I bought like, I was like eating like all dirty, like eating in the street the mango and the papaya, drinking the coconut water. And that's when I thought that like, this is where I want to live. And I'm like, shit, this idea just started growing in my head. Like, I grew up with my mom mostly. We're like, and my grandma. She was helping a lot, but because my mom is a doctor, she's an anesthesiologist, and she was working a lot, but like that didn't make her spend less time with us. But like when she was working, then grandma was with us, so she's like my second mom. And like my father died when I was 6 years old, so it was mostly like my mom and me and my brother, but my brother is like 10 years older, so he like went out of the house when I was like growing up or being like old enough to remember more. So it was mostly like with my mom, and we're like, thanks to that, we're like best friends, we're really close. And also like I love, like, not for some reason, but like I love the way she raised us. Like I would love to raise my kids the same way. She just let us like free, and like in that way we could decide what is right and what is not right for us. And also she, like, I love that she always treated us like equally and like as adults, and she just like discussed things with us, and always like our opinions always mattered to her. So even when we were little, she always asked us, is this okay, what would you like? And that way we learned to be like mature really quickly, like I believe. Like I really love that. So I grew up in Slovakia, but when I was 13, we moved to Qatar because my mom got a job there, and she went first. I stayed with grandma, and in a few months I flew after her, and that made us even more close. Like it was like two of us against the world. And since then we have like this saying that together we can do like anything, so together we can do it. And yeah, it was crazy hard. Like at the beginning we stayed like in a hotel until we got a house, and then we had to like make a new life there and together, and two like women alone. So yeah, like she's such a strong woman, and it was like it's amazing to look up to her. It was like, when I was looking for a job, I looked for like somewhere where I would like to work, right? And this bank had specifically like a super cool eco-friendly building, which I loved. So the building was super amazing, and that's like important for me, or like that was a lot. So we worked mostly with like in natural light, and we had a great team of people. Like if I would choose now, I would like love to work with them. And I got to wear pretty clothes, got to buy nice wardrobe, but it was so stressful for me. Like I have some kind of like anxiety, like I didn't really like got too deep into it, or don't have it like diagnosed, but for me to walk, like go to like out of house and through like the metro, like underground, to go to the like to work, and to walk through the whole building was like walking in a runway, and like the same stress like walking in front of like people on a runway. So I basically came to the office and got like super all like sweating and nervous, and when I got to work, and God forbid that I was like late, and some colleague came up to me and asked me some question about the job, I was like, oh my God, I cannot answer now. Like I need to first calm down and breathe, and I needed to always take time. Like I remember one day I couldn't even calm down. Like I had to go out and like call my mom and like or like act like I'm on the phone, and but I also was like also calling her, but I'm like, I need something like to calm down. I'm not saying it's stressful, it was just for me, but basically it's like, for me in general, life in Europe is very stressful. I guess that's why I chose to live in Colombia. Here it's just like more chill, more like free, more relaxed. Like for me, life in Europe is really like just to get out and just to share the underground with other people. Like I have such anxiety from like people like looking at me from like like I like, which is like, it's a weird combination. Like I love to like dress pretty and to put on like nice clothes, but at the same time when I do, people look at me, and then I hate when people look at me, and I got super stressed from it. So it was like, in general, life in Europe is like very stressful for me. And after a year I booked a trip to Montenegro, and I did my first diving certification, open water and advanced open water. I dove every day for 1-2 weeks, and I just loved it. And I came back, I quit my job. I started sending CVs everywhere. I wanted to move from Prague too. I started sending CVs to all the dive centers, to Latin America, all the language schools. I thought maybe I can teach English, to dive centers. Now I know that, like, of course they would not hire me because dive centers work very low budget, so they basically do whatever they can. They don't hire any extra people. But yeah, like I got no replies. So I started again sending CVs to something more professional, and stay in my profession, which was data analyst. And yeah, I just wanted to move from Prague. I needed change. I have been living there for 9 years. Then I studied there. I went to study there, university, and I lived there after. So yeah, it was enough, and I wanted a change. At the end, I realized that I need to move somewhere and get a job there. I cannot start like looking for a job like from Prague, looking for a job abroad. So I decided to move, and I didn't move to Berlin. It wasn't something like extreme, like okay, I'm not moving like so far away. It's not going to be such a huge change, but also it's a little, like, it's a change already, so it's going to be good. It was also like very very like very expat boom there. It was like very huge, so very multicultural. So yeah, I moved to Berlin, and I found a job there, like in few weeks or months, I can say. Like, it was good that like first I did the move and then look for jobs. So I found a job in a very cool company. It was a startup. I found a job like in my field as a data analyst, and I loved it. Like I really enjoyed it. I found like a great people. But again, after some time, I was like I don't know, the diving was just like calling me. And again, after like a year working there, we went for a trip. We did like team building in Sri Lanka. I said it was a cool company. And yeah, and I had the opportunity to dive there again, and loved it again. And then right after that, when we came back, I had booked a trip to Colombia for 1 month. So I've been traveling around Colombia like for a month, and in around half of the trip was my visit to Santa Marta. And in Santa Marta, I found a dive center where I went to do my fun dives, already like certified. I thought like, okay, I'll dive like a day or maximum 2. Of course, like dove for a week, couldn't stop, did a night dive, like everything. And like this is where I felt like again like alive. I was like I have forgotten what it is to like live, you know? Like I was like I'm alive again. Like this is what life is about. And as I was coming to the apartment, like where I was staying from the dive center, I took a taxi, and I stopped in the center of Santa Marta, and I bought like a coconut water, and I bought mango and papaya. I'm like super like addicted to tropical fruits. Like I love fruit so much, and coconut. Like people who know me know that, yeah, I'm crazy about fruits. So yeah, I bought like, I was like eating like all dirty, like eating in the street the mango and the papaya, drinking the coconut water, and that's when I thought that like this is where I want to live. So yeah, so I was thinking, and what really made me like do it was that I called my brother on Friday morning and I told him about this, and I'm like, I might want to like go to Colombia. And what he told me is that like if you can't find your place in this planet, then just like keep looking. And every time I think about it, like I have goosebumps. And yeah, so I was just like, yeah, like okay, why not? So I talked to my boss and I quit on Friday, and it was like a crazy month of arranging. I had a project in Copenhagen. We were like flying there and back like every week, like most of the week I was gone. So I had to finish that project. I had to pack. I gave away all my stuff. Like I sent like 2 boxes back home to Slovakia to my mom with like some winter jacket and some books that I want to keep, or like in case I visit in winter one day. And then I had boxes to give away, and I was like writing to secondhand stores, and like nobody wanted it. So I'm like, I'm giving you clothes for free, and they're like, no, we don't want like this brand, we don't want like just seasonal, and we just take this brand. I'm like, I'm giving you clothes for free. At the end I just dropped it in some secondhand store, and they gave me for like 4 boxes of clothes just like 100 euros. I'm like, okay, like maybe like one item was there 100, but I'm just happy somebody will use it. I think the trip by taxi to take the boxes there costed exactly the same like what they gave me, but yeah, anyway, I'm happy somebody will use it. And I just packed 1 suitcase, 1 backpack with my new diving gear that I got, and I was like, I'm going. And of course the most difficult was to tell to my mom. I told her on the phone because we weren't like, she was in Slovakia, I was in that time in Copenhagen, so I couldn't just fly like to her or go to her to tell her in person. But yeah, I told her on the phone. And yeah, poor her. Like now as being a mom, I can imagine how difficult it must be for her. And I'm really sorry for like putting her through all this craziness. But yeah, this is like what my heart wanted. And